ahead and call somebody to share.
Jerry.
Jerry, what you got? What we got, Jerry? Okay. Any thoughts on it? Call someone, Jerry. Jalen, what you got?
I said I focus more on the positive because I feel like I don't have much space to either be happy or upset, but I just focus on my rather be happy.
Okay. Jalen, one more. What you got, Robert?
It's beautiful on the inside and I mean, no, it's beautiful on the outside and ugly on the inside.
Beautiful on the outside, ugly on the inside? How do you mean?
I don't know.
Well, you said it. I'm just saying what you said.
Well, it's right and right.
Huh?
I don't know what I was saying.
Okay. All right. So let's move on here. So guys, have you heard the term? Or what does this glass make you think of? You ever heard this term? What's the term that you've heard before?
Oh,
Anybody?
actually,
Go ahead, Alexis, what you
I
got?
say it depends on the situation. If someone drinks it and it's like halfway full, then it's halfway empty because it got emptier. But if you just fill it up, it's halfway full.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? So again, the term is the glass half full or half empty? Okay. So just raise your hand if you heard the term. Is the glass half full or half empty?
It's half empty.
So most of us have heard that. Okay. So when you think of that difference, what comes to your mind? Okay, yeah. Right, right. So it's like it's the perspective, right? In that sense. Myra, do you want to just come over here? Just kind of consolidating. Thank you. Right, exactly. And basically, guys, so this is what we're looking at. So guys, in your sheets, it should say optimist and pessimist. What I'd like you to do is to write down the terms here. Thank you. You can do it. So let's see. Elias, can you read the optimist for me? Right here. And guys, in your sheet, it should say optimist, pessimist. Okay. And pessimist, let's go with Karen.
Tends to focus more on the positive challenges of situation and expect more negative outcomes.
Okay. So go ahead and make sure when we're doing this, make sure that we are writing the definitions down because this is going to be more or less a theme of the conversation, guys. Okay. So we're talking about the idea of optimism and positive self-talk. That's going to be the general theme of today's lesson. Okay. So it's the half empty, half full mentality, essentially, and basically, how does that impact your health? Okay. What are the consequences? What are the effects of having one versus the other is what we're trying to essentially sift through here, okay? I'll leave it there for a second. You guys do great. Okay, so are we good? Oh, one more? Okay. I'm open. You okay, guys?
I said, oh, how cute.
Oh. Are we ready? Yes? Okay, let's move on. So, guys, again, healthy behavior. Let's read that. Jalen. we review this, and this is kind of the theme we're kind of building on each time. And let's talk about by the end of the lesson what we're trying to do. What do we want to be able to do at the end of this lesson? Let's go with Natalie, and Natalie, just move your butt, same thing, Jared. Can you butt, please? Thank you. It's okay. So can you just read this one for me, Natalie? Natalie, can you just read that?
Number one,
Yeah.
describe strategies for maintaining an optimistic outlook.
Okay. Let's go with Alexis. Number 2. Alexis, number 2.
Change negative self-talk into positive self-talk to promote emotional health.
Okay. And Gwen, last one.
It's not that deep.
They're using positive self-talk.
Okay. Beautiful. So, how can optimism or having a positive outlook help you navigate life's ups and downs? Okay, so basically, I want you to answer this on your sheet right here. It says, right underneath optimist and pessimist, it says, how can optimism or having a positive outlook help you navigate life's ups and downs? I want you to take 1 minute, 60 seconds, to write your response, and then we're going to share. So let's answer that question right there. Okay. Let's see. Myra, what do you think? Myra,
I said optimism might affect the outcome of the situation you find yourself to be in. So you are what you attract.
okay, you already tracked. Good. Can you call somebody? Robert. And what do you think?
Bro, I believe it help navigate life's ups and downs as your vision of life will be more positive than negative.
Okay. Anyone add to that? Elias?
Not much on mine.
Alright, hold on.
Stereo.
Jeriel. What we got, Jeriel?
Just having a longer all the way
You guys have any particular examples? Does anyone know anyone? Yes.
I said, if you're going through something emotionally, and like, if you're optimistic, you know, like, it's something temporary, like,
Yeah, right. I like that. That's like a big one, which is like this idea that it's not permanent, right? So like seeing it as like a transitory thing, but also maybe even like the difference might even be that you believe you have the power over changing that too, right? So sometimes the positive outlook comes from the feeling of like efficacy. I can change this, right? So that's a good observation. Do you think that there are times where pessimism or having a negative outlook might help you deal with life's challenges? Why or why not? So same thing, 60 seconds. I'm going to have you write down, same page, and then we're going to share out. So again, it's really like, do you think pessimism has a place? Is there any value in pessimism? Yeah, Alexis.
Alright. I said, yes, I think it's better than having an optimistic outlook because if you expect bad results and then you get bad results, it's like, whatever. I knew it was coming. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you expect bad results and you get positive results, I feel like it's even more surprising because you expected to do bad, but then you did good, so it makes you like more surprised. More
Okay.
sort of like the feeling of like happiness better kind of.
Okay. Interesting thought. So this one was like more of a argument to say pessimism is even better.
It is.
Okay. Any agreement or disagreement? Thinking that, okay, so let's say, hey, if I'm going to be an optimist or pessimist, I'm going to be a pessimist because what? Like, if they want to either respond to that or reiterate what he said?
I disagree.
Okay.
I think that you could be optimistic sometimes, like if you're trying to say, there's a situation with somebody else, and like, you're just blinded to what everything that person is going through, so you're just trying to say I'm a good person,
Right.
then you need to be pessimistic.
Okay.
You need to see like the truth in your heart.
Okay. What about an argument against pessimism? Is there an argument against it? Johnny, any argument for or against? What do you think? Johnny, what do you think?
I said no. Because like, let's say you're like read the class, right? You know, pessimism or whatever mindset, right? Yeah, that's what
What?
it's gonna make the situation more worse than it is.
More difficult?
Yeah.
Being pessimistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Alexis, any thoughts on that? Like, if you're depressed, if you're having a hard time, does saying like pessimism doesn't necessarily like help you in those circumstances?
Yeah, but I'm not depressed.
Okay, so in your sense, you feel it helps you to like not feel disappointed as often.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Melody? Thoughts? Optimism, pessimism, where do you fall? Agnostic? In between? Do you find one to be better or worse?
No, fine.
You should Myra, I just want to convince everybody. Let's see. Robert, what are your thoughts? Optimist, pessimist. What's the better way? Is there a better way?
Like pessimism is a little better than optimism because,
Okay.
like Alexis said, having a negative outlook could help prepare for things.
Okay. Out of curiosity, raise your hand if you consider yourself to be an optimist. Of the two. 1, 2, 3.
Huh?
If you consider yourself more of an optimist than pessimist, if there's only two options, assuming there's two options, which way do you lean? Optimistic or pessimistic? So optimistic, raise your hand. I'm just curious, as a class, where we fall. So we said Jalen, Johnny, Karen, Phil? No. Okay. How many of you fall as pessimistic? Really? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is general attitude. Interesting. Okay. So one of the things that Jalen, and so Jalen, can you explain more, like, again, because I think it's interesting that we do lean that way, and I think the whole thing is to analyze where these behaviors can potentially lead, the consequences that they can have. Now, to Alexis' point, he's saying that, okay, well, you know what, if I'm going through experiences, if I'm kind of pessimistic, my expectations are low, therefore most things are going to surprise me, if anything, which is a good thing. Where, Jalen, where do you see that as flawed, if anything?
I feel like you should never think of yourself or think of something you're doing as less. So like if you're like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna go buy a new Jordan, right? And then I don't know where they go out of stock. Like you said, you know how you said like, oh well, I expected that. It's like I feel like your attitude kind of has something to do towards that.
I disagree, because whenever like, okay, the Travis is wearing right now, right? When they first came out, I didn't think I was gonna get them. So I was on my phone, I was just on TikTok, and out of nowhere it says, oh, you hit. I was dumb hype. I didn't think I was gonna get them though, but I was hyped because I hit, because I didn't expect it, so it was even more surprising, you know what I mean?
Here's thought. What if you believe like, you know what, I can't succeed in life, nothing, I kind of think it like, I'm not gonna get that job, this is this. Is there any argument for, if you don't think you can get it, why try? Meaning, the optimist point of view is, because I believe something good can happen, I'm more likely to pursue action towards it, because I believe in the most likelihood of success. I'm most likely going to succeed if I try hard. Where the pessimist might say, why you try, it ain't gonna work out.
Like, why would
I wouldn't say that. That's not my type of pessimistic.
Okay. So is that the place where you may hold it? Okay. So so how do you look at that? You say a pessimist might say, again, do you want to pursue this goal or this thing? And they might say, no, not really, because I think I'm gonna fail anyway, or there's no chance of me succeeding. Eli, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree.
Which way? Which way? So again, if someone says like, are you less likely, again, if a person wants to achieve a goal, do you think a pessimist or an optimist is more likely to achieve?
Optimist.
Why?
Because you believe in yourself to get there, so and you get closer.
Okay. So that's a good, okay. So again, and this is more about piecing apart these two things. So again, suggest both optimist and pessimistic view for each of these challenges. So for example, your family is going to move to another state. You have to work the same weekend. Your friends are going to a concert. You want to try out for the basketball team, but it's very competitive. So I want you to basically, on this page right here, page number 14, you're going to write each challenging situation, and you're going to write both perspectives, the optimist and the pessimist, to try to sift out what does the optimist look like in these situations, what does the pessimist look like in these situations, to try to kind of see the differences of where does this lead, right? Because this is the important thing, is that one way to do it is to do those thought experiments. Where does this lead us to go?
So that's all one challenge right here?
What's that?
That's all one challenge?
No, in each one. So if you go to the page number 14, you're going to see challenge 1, challenge 2, challenge 3. You're going to write each challenge down. You're going to write down pessimist and optimist response based on how you perceive it. What would an optimist look like? What would a pessimist look like? Okay? So again, I just want to give you guys a little more time. I'll do 2 minutes just because it's a little more writing. Let's do that in a second. We'll have time for that. Let's do the other pages. And this is on the optimist and pessimist. We're going to this page right here, 14. So basically these 3 experiences, so family moving to another state, you have to work the weekend when your friends are going to a concert, and basically you want to try for a basketball team, but it's very competitive. How would you describe a optimist and pessimistic perspective? So 2 individuals, one's an optimist, one's a pessimist, how are they viewing that situation? Okay? So try and describe that, and then we're going to talk about it. You okay, Ryan? Oh, there's. Alright. Another minute, guys. Another minute.
You're gonna take it.
You guys need a minute?
Listen, when are we actually gonna talk about health?
This is helping, man. That's
Okay, so we should talk about sex ed.
That's fine. We will talk about that some more. This is right now, we'll talk about this.
Still put a condom on the banana.
Bro, why you always want to talk about putting a condom in the man?
Because you want to do sex ed.
That's
That's part of it.
Oh, so.
Well, that's, contraception part of it. But right now, yeah, we do units and topics on different things. So right now, we're talking about the different dimensions of health.
Alright, yeah, you should know
Okay.
where.
So that would also be in the physical. So just so you know, that's the physical domain of health. So we'll talk about that more separately another time. All right, so let's talk about this now, guys. First one is your family is going to move to another state. Let's talk about the optimistic, pessimistic point of view. Let's go with Melanie. Give me a optimistic point of view.
I don't have anything.
What's that?
I don't have anything.
All right, call on someone to help you.
Yeah.
Eli, give me something.
For the pessimistic side, I said I'm gonna lose all my friends and I won't know anybody. And then like optimistic, I said meet new people and you know you can start fresh. And yes.
And what do you think is in your eyes, the better perspective, if there is one?
I feel like optimistic on this.
Yeah.
Because you gotta make better. You gotta make the best out of all these situations.
Okay. Good. Can we call someone for the next one?
Yeah, Jerry up.
Jeriel. What's going on, man? What do you think?
Which one?
Let's go. You have to work the same weekend. Your friends are going to a concert.
I'm good at it. You know, I work with my friends at home. They're like optimistic, being helpful.
Making bread.
Exactly, make
That's what I'm doing. Okay. Pessimistic?
How you know in that concert somebody moved out? Like the Travis Scott shit.
What do you do? So what?
Somebody
That sounds very pessimistic, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got the pessimistic point of view.
That's in the
of
thing
that.
for you.
So optimistic is you're making money. One second, please. So optimistic is you're making money. And what would you say the pessimistic side is?
Oh, I'm not working with my friends at home. We get out together.
Okay. Anybody want to either add to that or?
No Johnny.
Yeah, you can point. Yeah, we want. Johnny, do you want to add to this or move to the next one?
I'll let you do the next one.
Okay, so can you just read that out loud? What's the situation and what are your optimistic positive?
He
Positive.
wants to try out for the basketball team, but it's very competitive. Pessimistic response is like, oh, I'm not going to try out, I was going to make it anyways. And the optimistic is even better, I'm going to show off my skills, something like that.
What's the last one?
Even better, I'm going to show off my skills.
The optimistic is that?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay. Anyone add to that one before we move on?
I think Karen does.
Yeah. Karen, go ahead. What would you add to that? Optimistic or pessimistic? Anyone else thoughts on that one? But to the point. This one is sometimes those tangible things where we get concerned. To Alexis's point about like the pessimistic side, which is that it's the same thing with like school. It's like if you don't feel like you can succeed, why try? This whole thing. Whereas you see these things as really valuable opportunities for you to actually achieve not only knowledge and skills, but to say, for example, achieve the life you want, the values you want. It could be obviously in that sense self-fulfilling. But the negative. So, do you ever hear self-fulfilling prophecy? Has anyone ever heard that?
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
A self-fulfilling prophecy. Does anyone know what that is?
Self-fulfilling?
Self-fulfilling, yes.
Like something you feel good about that you accomplish.
Is it like a motivation thing that you do every day?
It's more like there's a quote. I think I'll give you a different quote. It's whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. You ever heard that? No. Okay, so the quote, Johnny. So the quote is whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. And the self-fulfilling prophecy is essentially saying like because you don't think you can achieve, you won't achieve. Because again, the thought of not achieving, Eli, the thought of not achieving makes you say, well, why didn't you try? So you end up actually failing because you didn't try in the first place because you didn't believe anything was possible. You see what I'm saying? The self-fulfilling aspect of it, right? So if you don't believe from the get-go that you're going to succeed or you believe you're going to fail, let's just say that. I believe I'm going to fail, so I'm not going to try, and guess what? You fail because you didn't try. So that's the self-fulfilling. You're almost like self-generated that apple because you didn't try because you didn't believe. And because you believe, you didn't put your best effort out. See what I'm saying? So that's an example of the self-fulfilling prophecy. So the mindset can actually impact the actual outcome in some respects, right? Unless you feel otherwise. You see what I'm saying though? Right? So let's move on from here, guys. Ways to be optimistic. Okay? So, who wants to read this one for me? Let's go with Karen, first one.
Focus on the positive.
Okay. I read the blue.
Think of the problems as temporary or specific. See yourself as the cause of your success. View mistakes as a chance to learn. Keep a sense of humor. Stay healthy. Spend time around positive people. Use positive self-talk.
Okay. So, does anyone relate to any one of these things in particular? That stands out to you? I think Jalen mentioned this one as the optimistic point of view, right? Jalen, you mentioned thinking of problems as temporary and specific, right? So the transitory aspect. Go ahead.
I don't know if I do this, but like, okay, so like yesterday, I was in physical therapy, and you know how like they move like the scar tissue? Every time it hurt, I would start laughing. Like, I wouldn't like, I would just laugh when it hurt. I laugh when something hurts. If something hurts, I'll laugh.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know, it just makes me laugh.
But they make it less.
No, I think I just laugh because it's
So
it was hurting.
let's go through this. We talk about focusing on the positive. We already talked about that's like the optimistic pessimistic.
even my leg popped out. Yeah, I was laughing.
You get okay. So how many of you guys think this problem is temporary? How many of you guys are good at like compartmentalizing in the sense the problems that you have and see it as like, hey, listen, things are happening, but I'm not going to get like hung up on it. So Jalen obviously already mentioned this, Karen. Okay. Anybody else, guys? Show of hands. Who thinks of the problems as again weighted? Who holds on to them? Like you do. You hold on to them. You kind of like marinate them in a sense.
I feel like you gotta build up your problem.
What's that?
Exactly.
Build.
Yes.
Build what?
Build off.
Build off your prop. Right. Okay. How about oh, this is a really interesting one. So this is actually the point I was trying to make you about just before. You said, see yourself as the cause of your success. This is actually a really important one. Why do you think this is important? This is a big difference to me between an optimist and a pessimist, because there's something else. See yourself as a cause. What would be the opposite of seeing yourself as a cause?
Seeing others.
Saying you got lucky?
What Eli just said. Seeing others as a cause, right? But let me ask you a question. If others are the cause, who's in control?
They are.
Right. So the optimist in this
That's like
situation,
driving right there.
right? So what do you think? So the optimist, when they see themselves as the cause, what do you think that gives them?
Power.
Yeah, empowers them. Because at the end of the day, it comes back to you are the person, right? You are the actor that causes the outcome. See what I'm saying, Gwen? Right? Do we see what we're saying here? So this is actually interesting. So Alexis, how do you feel about this aspect of it? The pessimist, optimist perspective.
I don't.
From your point of view.
From my point of view.
Yeah, because I feel like you're the advocate for pessimism, right? Like, that's the stance. Like, that's the, you kind of like your throat.
It almost makes sense. I mean, you do stuff on your own. I mean, I don't know how you see others as
No, because if somebody like give you an opportunity for something, you're not gonna think, oh, I got this opportunity. You're gonna say, oh, they helped. Fuck, I don't like something.
Yeah, who thinks like that? That's stupid.
I do.
Who thinks they what?
Like what? Like when I get my life back, I think it's because of the other person.
When you get your what? No. I want to hear both
It
sides.
doesn't even make sense, nigga.
No, because it's like let's say I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it.
Try to best.
Try your best, man.
But it's like let's say somebody gives you an opportunity, right, to acting. Right? Somebody comes along the street and gives you a card saying, oh, I think you'd be good at acting.
Okay.
There you go. And you're not gonna be like, oh, I got myself here because you know I'm good at it. You got yourself here because somebody gives that
You
opportunity.
still have to audition.
Okay. Okay.
Some people don't have to audition, they just automatically good at it. And that's like modeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So
Okay.
You're here on 6 hours.
Anyone else thoughts on this one? This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite points. Johnny, thoughts on this one? The reason I say this is a lot of you guys raise your hand as pessimists, so I'm curious what you think about this one. Huh? No, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying, but some of us raise your hand as considering it a little more pessimistic. What do you think about this? Because this is to me the big difference. Or one of the big differences. What? What? Okay. Adriana? What do you think about this one? Yeah, seeing yourself as a cause. Sure. Okay. So you think that, look at it a different way. when a person's being optimistic about a situation, is that they see themselves as the cause, or they see their power in the ability to essentially be successful in overcoming that challenge or that situation. See what I'm saying? So they see themselves as the cause in the sense of you have power to change the situation, right? You see what I'm saying? Where a pessimist might say, yes, I see what you're saying. You're saying, I'm grateful for the people and the things that they help me with. But the idea is saying that you are a very powerful entity in yourself to make change occur in your environment. Where the pessimist might feel, this is the world I live in, I can't help the way people are, the way things are, and I have no power. And therefore they go, hands are up, why are you trying?
That makes sense.
Right? That makes sense. But again, so the question is, what do you think about to do? Here's a better question. Who do you think is more likely to get out of the situation? Even if what you're saying is true, even if the conditions are really bad. Let's say they are really bad. Who's more likely to get out? The optimist or the pessimist?
The pessimist.
Why?
Because he doesn't care.
Okay.
He's gonna leave the situation. That's it. That's as simple as that. It's just the fucking person who believes in himself is gonna be like, you know what, I can fix all this, blah, 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 and never escape.
Well, let me see. Maybe the escape is the way out. Maybe that's their freedom to say, I can leave this. I believe I have power to leave this, and I will. Right? Okay. So let's move on from that. So anyway, view your mistakes as a chance to learn. Let me ask you a question. Jerry. Eli, when you make a mistake, how do you view them? Do you view them as a chance to learn, or do you view them as, no, it's someone else's fault?
I see that as someone else's fault.
Well, sometimes, you know, it depends on the mistake, on why it's a mistake. Because, like, sometimes you can make a mistake
Because what?
because it's somebody else's word.
I want to hear what. Sorry.
Mr. I think you should call him Jalen because Jalen has a lot to say with her raggedy ass mouth. So call him Mr.
Guys,
Raggedy was loud.
guys,
Mr.
hey, try helping communication. Let's do that one.
Okay, Mr.
So let me get
Mr. I think I got some help.
Eli finish, and then I'll leave it.
No, Mr. I can't talk no more. Jalen.
Raggedy was
Jalen, what do you got? The question is, how do you view your mistakes? Guys, we're getting a little bit too loud. Please, bring it back.
I mean, I think mistakes are a chance to learn. Like, you go through everything for a reason. So it's like if it didn't go right the first time, obviously you need to take advice from that and use it for something else.
Okay. One of the things that I've noticed with you guys is that a lot of people see mistakes as a failure, and therefore don't like to acknowledge them because then they see that reflection of themselves. And so I feel like a lot of times you see the growth mentality of those who think mistakes are a chance to learn. They usually see them as, how can I get better from that mistake? How can I get better from that experience, right? So they also, again, optimists will keep a sense of humor. Staying healthy, I mean, that's more physical in some respects. Spend time around positive people, which is true, and positive self-talk. So let's, if I can. Okay. So imagine a person who's always down themselves. What kind of negative things might that person think or say? In your groups, I want you now to talk to each other, and then we're going to share out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's the sound of depression.
Yeah, how does it differ?
Conversation. You guys talk about it. You guys talk. We're going to share it. Myra? Myra? I'm going to have you share with
I can't do it anymore. I might just have it all.
wait till Jerry comes back. So you guys, you're going to talk about, imagine a person always down themselves. What kind of negative thoughts might that person think? Huh? Use that, right? Right on the back of your paper if you like, guys. So discuss that as your group, and then we'll share out in the next like minute. Okay?
Why is it always me?
Cool.
That's why I make mistakes.
I'm not doing
Guys,
something.
please be like,
It's not like I'm doing something out of your base. I ain't doing shit. I'm going home and going to sleep. That's a sleep thing for me. I didn't sleep the whole night.
so guys, you guys, again, I want you to focus on the discussion. You done?
Yeah.
Yeah? Give me another 40 seconds, guys. So continue. Rachel wrote them down, and we're going to share them with this.
All 5 episodes. The best scene from the whole.
You know, the big one.
I like shows that I like murder mysteries.
One was half an hour.
the person who always down themselves. Let's go with this table. What do you have?
What negative things? I said that. I said they might be suicidal.
Okay.
Like they might say they want to end it all, and no one
Okay.
cares about them.
This group. Give me one.
Why they always like question like why is it always me?
Question. Why me? Okay. Eli, your group. Some thoughts that person might think or say. A person that is always down themselves.
To be honest, they might just, think first, that they don't have a chance to pick themselves up.
So there's no chance for success. Anyone want to add to that? And no chance for success. Anyone add to that? Girls, anyone?
I was gonna say.
Compare themselves.
Not so much.
Okay. Anything else? Very comparative. I actually like that, guys, because here's the thing. Sometimes, let's just say the way that I determine my value as a basketball player is against LeBron James. And let's say the only way I want to be is the best basketball player possible, and if I can't beat LeBron James, what do you think about that? Is that a good standard to go by? Why?
Because you're not gonna be the world.
Why?
Because you're not gonna be.
But why not? What makes LeBron at least in part?
Because they ain't honest, bro.
Yeah, LeBron, right. But there's a part of like, maybe I'm like 5'2", nothing wrong with this. Like 5'2", I don't have the most, there's certain aspects that make a good basketball player, right? Maybe he's taller. Like there's certain, doesn't mean you can be the best version of yourself. But if I'm comparing to the peak talent in the world in that sense, I might struggle because it's compared to other people. Right? So I see myself as someone I compete against myself. I see it as I gotta be better than Ron or I'm not gonna be happy. And that can make it really difficult because, again, the power is outside yourself again. If someone else is better than me, even though I make progress, I might still be upset. So again, negative patterns of thinking. Eli, can you read this first one?
Yo, listen, why you keep picking me?
Just keep on this one conversation.
Expecting the worst, predicting problems before they happen.
Okay, so that's kind of like, do you guys relate that? Or it's like, you're kind of ruminating on something that like hasn't even happened yet? Me? Well, this makes sense now, right? Talk about it. No, no, it's easier, it's easier. How about this one? Read that one, Alexis.
The party would be boring and nobody would want to talk to you.
So?
I'm still out there.
Natalie, can you do this one?
I know I won't get a job.
Okay. So again, what's a positive self-talk statement you could use instead? So what would you say instead? So let's go with this one. Let's go, Melanie, what do you think this one? Party. Give me positive thing to say.
Give him a positive thing to say.
So instead of saying the party will be boring, no one will talk to me. In fact, it's something we can dance right now. Perfect example. You ready? You see that, right? There's a dance coming up on
Let her
Friday.
start something.
It
Listen.
was last.
Oh, sorry, let's say, how was it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was
I
okay.
didn't know.
That's okay. That's all right. There you go. But how many people before they even went were like, right? So, give me a positive one, Melanie. Melanie, give me a positive one. Give me a positive answer to this. Give me that positive self-talk. What do you got? Make this positive.
She said you could talk to anybody.
Alright, you got it right. She might meet new people. Melanie, call someone else for this one. Eli again. Alright, Eli.
Hurry up, listen, hurry up.
No, you come on. We got it. I know I won't get the job.
What you want me to say? What's
Something positive or not.
It's better to try.
It's better to try. You miss 100% of the chance
Of the shots you don't take.
That's it. That's it. I like that. Very nice, guys. All right. Negative parent thinking. You have to.
Wait, hold on. I gotta write this down.
No.
Wait, so what's this paper for?
Which one? Where you
Not
at?
there yet.
Oh, we not?
No, no, each one of these are those for those. So just understand the main.
So we have to write those?
So for example, just put predicting problems before they happen. So expecting the worst is predicting problems before they happen. So that's all you gotta write is expecting the worst. So that's on page 15. So page 15, all you're gonna write is predicting problems before they happen. Okay? Next, overgeneralizing. This is a big one. This is you see a lot. Myra, can you read this one? What's it say? This is again. You're gonna write this part.
Making broad assumptions based on only a little bit of evidence.
All right. So let's read this one. Let's go with Johnny. Read this.
We lost that first game, so we won't be good enough to win another game all season.
Okay. let's go with Adriana, second one.
We lost our first game, so we won't be good enough to win another game all season.
Right. So this is the big thing, the nevers, right? We will never. So again, we're not going to win a game all season long. It's a generalization based on a moment's time or experience. So, and again, based on little evidence. So the idea is that okay, so we lost one game. That's it. It's over. We're not going to win anymore now. That's it. You know, like that kind of mentality. And we see this in a lot of areas. So, Mara, how can we use positive self-talk to maybe change it? So we lost our first game, so we won't be good enough to win another game all season. How would you change that?
I don't know how to root off of the teammates and put in more work for the next practice.
Perfect. Good. Call on somebody else for the second one.
I don't know, we got something with team over
No, Natalie.
Now, we got second one here. My parents will never understand my point of view.
I can talk to them so that I can try to like help them understand me.
Perfect. Perfect. If I talk to them, they'll understand me better. Awesome. So again, making broad assumptions based on only a little bit of evidence, guys. That's actually one of the biggest ones that we see often when it comes to people thinking they know more about people than they do. Okay, let's go blaming others. Let's go with Alexis. Yeah.
What?
Read that one for me.
Not taking responsibility for your own choices or actions.
Okay. And Gwen, you want to read that first one?
Get called red hand, I say do it.
Go ahead.
I hit them because they hit me first.
Okay. Robert, read the second one.
What? Oh, I would have gotten a better grade if the teacher was in school.
I'm not that mean, guys. Now, who wants to give me more of a positive self-talk version of that? Let's go first one. I hit them because they hit me first.
What is positive?
It's not positive, but it's kind of putting the blame on somebody else for your own actions.
Yeah.
Right, so what's the better version of that? What's like the more positive version of that? Jalen?
I didn't hit them back to avoid issues.
I didn't hit them back, but you did avoid issues.
Oh, are you talking about like?
Like in this case, you're not taking responsibility that you hit the person.
Oh, I
Let's just
shouldn't
say.
have hit them.
I shouldn't have hit them.
Or I
Okay,
should
right.
have been like them.
Right.
I should have controlled my anger.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. Let's go to the second one. I would have gotten a better grade if my teacher wasn't so mean. Jerry Allen. What do you got? Perfect. Exactly. Yeah, see? Quite nice. Requiring
I
perfection.
put a 35.
Requiring perfection. Let's go with Karen. Read that one.
Not allowing any room for error or mistake.
Okay. And read those two for me. We're gonna move a little faster.
If I don't get a straight A's, I don't deserve to go to college. If something goes wrong, the whole event is ruined.
Okay. So this is like like sometimes the person like gets the first B of their life and they get really, really upset potentially, or seeing any mistake as like the end of the world type of thing. So how can we be more positive with this one? Anyone?
I'm right. What do you mean? There is no negatives about that.
There's nothing negative here.
That's an optimistic.
If I don't get straight A's, I don't deserve to go to college.
That's not true.
Yeah. So how do you make them positive?
Oh, never mind, man.
So this is again a person that basically requires perfection, not allowing any room for errors or mistakes.
Perfectionist.
Yeah. So how would you say what should that person maybe leave room for?
Not every human person.
That was perfect, right? And not only that, but like in every mistake is the opportunity to grow, right? So that'd be like a positive mentality towards that. Because a lot of people again have a really hard time. This is actually really important because you ever know people who like will never take ownership of anything because they don't want to be imperfect. You see what I'm saying? They're like they messed up, but they won't take ownership partly because by being wrong or being imperfect, they're bad. So they won't acknowledge it, right? So instead of seeing it as, you know what, I messed up, I did something wrong, and I need to change that to be a better person, right? That's the positive version. Exaggerating, guys. Alexis, read this one.
Getting that flat tire ruined my whole day.
So read that. What is it?
Oh, making an event situation bigger than it really is.
Okay.
Sounds like you.
Okay. Read that one. Read these two.
Getting my flat tire ruined my whole day. I made my friend mad and I let him talk to me again. I don't give a fuck about that.
Oh, language, please. Language. Positive language too. Robert, give me a positive version of this. Give me more positive self-talk of these.
Oh boy. Both of them?
Yeah.
Or read the first one.
I could just fix my tire the next day.
What's that?
I could just fix my tire the next day.
Okay. And give me one for the bottom.
Incompensating.
Anyone else? Give me, Johnny, you want to add to that? Add to one of these? A positive self-talk statement?
I guess for everyone, maybe just talk it out.
Amen.
Yeah, like if I just talk through them, like maybe the things would be alright. Or again, the flat tire ruined my whole day. I'm trying to think of a better one for that. Anyone else want to add to that? Maybe have a better version of that? What? The flat tire ruined my whole day?
Gave me a new experience.
You need new experience? Alright, next one is personalizing. This is actually another one. Jerry, can you read this one part here? Yes, yeah? Okay. Myra, can you read this? Right here.
Thinking you're the cause of the negative event or taking things personally that are not meant to
Okay.
That's not me, nigga. What?
Okay, why don't you read the two down here?
The only reason we broke up was because I wasn't good enough. I would never say that. My friend didn't text me back. I must have done something wrong.
Okay. Has everyone actually, wait, hold on, time out. Has anyone actually had those thoughts?
Well, my significant other, yeah.
Okay, right. So
Maybe the last
so it's related. Now here's the thing. What's a positive way to look at this situation, right? What's a better way to look at this?
They're probably doing the dishes or something, dude.
They might be busy doing something important, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Alexis, she wasn't doing.
Maybe again, maybe in this case, where someone says we probably broke up because I wasn't good enough. So Eli, if we probably broke up because I wasn't good enough. Eli, give me another one. The only reason we broke up was because I wasn't good enough. Give me a better one.
Sometimes things fail. She's got that.
Alright, so guys, we're going to go to the using this worksheet at the end. I want you now to work on page 16. All you got to write is this part. Thinking you're the cause. Eli, thinking you're the cause of a negative event or taking things personally that aren't meant that way. Right? Next, guys, go to page 16. I want you to work on this, this final. I'll break it down, I'll help you out. I want you to work on this paper. It says, describe these 4 ways to be optimistic and give a specific example of how you could use one of them in your life. Okay? At least 4 ways to be optimistic and give a specific example of how you can use them in your life. And then number 2 is write 2 or more examples of negative thinking. Then write at least one positive self-talk statement that can counter each one, provides a more realistic view. Okay? And we're going to finish this to the end, guys.
Hey, sexual harassment. Go on.
Do you want them? Okay, so why is it? Talk about this. Do you want them? Okay.
I'll just finish this real quick. I would like to do just a quick closing statement at the end of this too. So we have like 1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
I can do this.
Yes, sir.
Damn, Davis. That's magnitude.
Hello, sir. So guys, let's just pause for a second. Before we finish, I just want to do like a quick summary. Like, what are your closing thoughts, Eli? What are your closing thoughts on the general nature of the lesson? Do you have any perspectives or things you might have found interesting or learned?
Mister, I'm a very optimistic person, but I do have pessimistic thoughts sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Jalen?
I'd say the same. But
Okay.
I feel like it's more optimistic.
Does it make you, so guys, in looking at the lesson, does it make you think differently about these perspectives? No? No?
I feel like it's all the same thing,
What? Why?
like positivity, negativity, like, I don't know.
You don't think they lead to different places?
They
No?
definitely do, but
Take that sip.
I don't think of them as like anything different now. I
Why?
don't feel like, I haven't changed my mind about them.
Okay. Why? The argument wasn't sufficient to make you think that you should be more optimistic or pessimistic?
No, I already knew this.
Oh, you can. So it's more reinforcing the already said. Okay. Karen, did it make you think that optimism or pessimism in a different light or no?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, what you do is when you get your papers, and I want you to put them right over here on this desk. I'm going to come out in here. Make sure that the classroom is clean, and I will see you